Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a business and branding coach and a feng shui practitioner. Welcome to Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah. Today I am foregoing the bubbly, which I did. Initially, I was going to have my lemon and lime or lime, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched to my smashed soda, strawberry gin and soda out of the can into my wine glass. And I love just like the subtle strawberry flavor. It's like, yeah, it's so good. So anyway, tell me what you're drinking.
I am drinking a Montepulciano. It is from Thirsty Mule, which is right down the road.
Cute.
And I was very excited to find that they had a Montepulciano. And we went there a few weeks ago with some friends one Sunday afternoon. And I got a glass, and that's what I picked. And I'm like, oh, this is so good. I'm going to buy a bottle and I'm going to drink it on the show.
Oh, nice.
But the reason that I did pick it this week is because, oh my gosh, like I feel it coming. I don't know what it is, but it is that sense of excitement and like Christmas is coming, but it's not Christmas.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it has anything to do with, we got our, excuse me, Enjoy the Wood map.
Mm-hmm.
And it came in a little box. It wasn't a huge, like Logan's was enormous.
Right.
But we got a small one. And
Okay.
so it came in this little box, and we got the table out, and Paul stained a piece of wood, and then he put everything on there. I helped him about that much. He did all the work.
Cool.
He did all the work. I just stood there for part of it.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, it turned out so beautiful. And it is in the journey area of our abundance area in our bedroom.
Nice.
And every time I look at it, it gets me excited. It's like, oh, there's my territory.
Where in the world? Yeah. Like, where in the world can I go? What in the world can I do? Like, yeah.
And so the possibilities seem so endless that it's put me in this spot. And it's so interesting, the timing, because I have a situation that I'm going to be very vague about. When everything is resolved, we will totally discuss it. But that day is not today. Plus, I don't want to get too much energy over there to that. But I'm in a situation that I'm not very happy to be in.
Okay.
And I want to take charge, and I want to fix it, and I want to do what I want to do. But the feelings that I have when I think about the things I want to do are not in the vortex.
Right.
And they don't feel good in my body. And
because they come from ego, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. So I'm like, okay, what would I tell a client? What would it, if a client was going through this exact situation, what would I say? And I would say, well, what story are you telling? And so then I looked at not only the story that I was telling, but how much time I was spending there, and then how it felt in my body. And it's like, you can't change this situation by thinking about this. Right. So what is it that you want? And then I got playful. And I started imagining the situation just as I wanted it. And what's it going to be like? And how is it going to feel? And how am I going to feel? And what am I going to be doing here? And just playing out the whole scenario, which feels exciting. Right. And got me turned in a different direction. So all that to say, that is why I picked the Montepulciano, because the Montepulciano is my celebration wine.
Right.
Even when I don't know what I'm celebrating, but I know it's good.
Well, and I think, I don't know, for me anyway, I feel like my manifesting signature is fun, surrender, and gratitude.
Yes.
Always. Like, it's like this, I don't know, this vibration, this frequency of like, how does it get to be more fun than this? What can I do? How does this feel in my body to like do everything that I really wanted to do? Like that sounds like that play energy that you were talking about. And
Yeah.
then really just like surrendering to whatever happens
Yeah.
and being grateful for where I am right now, being grateful for the opportunities that I have to really choose.
Mhm.
Um, grateful for all that I've been through, but
Yeah,
like
and I learned.
that, I mean, can we manifest from frustration and anger or fear? Sure. Who wants to? Like, I
Well,
mean,
but
have,
do you manifest the stuff you want sitting in fear or sitting in
I
anger?
have,
Okay.
I have like just like sheer determination and fear of like, I don't know, like it's like a strong energy. It's like such a strong energy that I absolutely have manifested from that, but I can't keep it. It's like this panicky sort of, and I can't keep that energy. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I manifested quick and then I'm back. But
Mhm.
when I have manifested the amazing things, it's always fun, surrender, and gratitude.
Yeah.
Always, you know?
And daydreaming,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
and I hate to say visualizing because that sounds so cliche or, and some people roll their eyes when they hear that, but really feeling what
Mhm.
those things are. And, this or something better,
Exactly.
and asking, how does it get better than this? Because
Mhm.
when you ask that, it always does.
Yeah. How does it get any better than this? And what else is possible? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes I find sometimes, we have this one idea of the way it can go or the way we think it's
Yes.
going to go. And we never really open up to anything else, like other possibilities. Like, what if there's something way better on the other side
Yeah.
that we haven't even considered because it's too wild, it's too out there, you
Well,
know?
and we think so small sometimes
Yeah.
that we're thinking just the next step instead of the big picture. And so we slow ourselves down or hold ourselves back
Yeah.
because we don't see what we can do. Or we
Right.
think, oh, I can't do that. Well, did you
Right.
really
We're
try?
holding ourselves. We're holding ourselves back for
This is
sure.
all I deserve,
Mhm.
all
I
I'll
can't
ever be.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
I I freaking love it. I'm excited to see what you do
I am
because
too.
I'm talking to when I'm coaching um any of the women that I'm working with, it always comes down to that's one of the things that they struggle with is like feeling stuck in where they are and really hyper focusing on where they are. I had a coaching call this week and my client, she was saying, I'm just so stuck. I don't know where I'm going. I want to move from here. I don't like being here. I don't like working in this uh, business that my parents have owned. And I just want to move and I can't go anywhere. And she said, I'm trying to think positive. I'm trying to think positive. And so I think sometimes it's like we can just get ourselves to the point where we can let go of the resentment, we can let go of the anger, we can let go of the fear, we can let go of like the ego part of our lives. And we can step into that fun surrender and gratitude. We can step into the visualization or we can step into imagining what our life could be like and like, oh, what is coming? What's coming next? What amazing thing could happen this week?
Mhm. Yeah.
But if we can't, I think it's important to work through that stuff. Like I feel like I work through all the negative stuff, especially in the
Mhm.
journey. I love to work through all the negative stuff and then say, I release this all now
Mhm.
and I choose to step into something greater. And then I do the visualization. And so for me, like I find for you, you say, what are you making this mean? And then you just flip on a dime, which is so amazing. I feel like I cannot always do that. Like
Oh, I
sometimes
would say I don't always do that.
do you? You
But
have some
there are things that are harder, like bigger.
yeah,
I'll sit and stew for a bit. But
right.
then process and tell stories and the whole And then it's like, are you tired of this yet? Like, you've been here a
Yeah.
while. Is this really where you want this? You focusing on this is going to
Right.
keep you stuck here. So do you
Yeah.
want to feel like this, or do you want to feel better?
Yeah.
And so it's just become a practice, and it's not all the time, but it's most of the time. And there are some things that I recognize the feelings coming with it because of my thoughts, that I
Yes.
immediately go, do you want to go down that road?
Yes. Yeah.
And the
I
answer is usually,
yeah.
not so much,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I've been there before and I've seen it. I can take that lesson, and
Right.
that's, you know,
And I do think a lot of times we do this almost as like a self-punishment, like, right? Or like
oh,
I deserve to feel like shit, or I should feel like shit. And
or I should be pissed off.
or I should be pissed off,
Can
or
you believe
tells
they did
me,
this to me?
yeah, my friend tells me she would be mad too,
Yes.
right? And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, we just cement that in.
Oh, yeah. Come on, let's all be mad together, out of the
Yeah.
vortex.
We compound the emotion, right?
Mhm.
Like with, we're already angry and now we compound it with guilt, or we compound it with resentment, or we like, I mean,
And we
when
make
we
it bigger.
feel something, about what we feel,
Yeah.
it's
But I mean, we just
it's
make it
just cementing
bigger
it
and
in.
bigger and bigger instead of
Yeah.
looking at the actual facts that are going on
Yeah.
and then going, what do you want?
Exactly.
What do you want?
I also think sometimes we, in a sick and fucked up way, we benefit from it, right? We benefit from that
It's a
negative
dopamine
story.
hit.
It is. And also sometimes we benefit from, we've got someone else feeding us, like we've got attention from someone else saying, that's bullshit. This is wrong. You shouldn't take that crap, right?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden we got a girl gang going on.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so we benefit from staying there for too
Mm-hmm.
long. I'm really conscious of that, particularly like if I start to tell stories that I don't like, that don't even make sense really, they're just like straight from fear. um Usually my husband would be like, but what if that's wrong? Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, true. Okay. Thank you for that. Like it just flips me back to that's just like a story that I'm just creating out of
Yeah.
nowhere. But I'm very conscious now of how am I benefiting from this story?
Mm.
And because I think we benefit in some twisted way from a
Yeah.
negative story.
We're
And
addicted.
then yeah. And then it's like, when I always turn and look like, you know, weigh the scales of how am I benefiting and how am I being destroyed by,
Mm-hmm.
the negative story is always going to destroy me more.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then I find it's easier to just work through it. I usually just journal through it. This is how I'm feeling now. I
Mm-hmm.
release this all. And what would you have me do,
Mm-hmm.
universe? And
In the right direction.
that always, yeah, it always gets me back on track.
It's so interesting because I've been making lists of things I need to do, and I'm putting things on my list. And this week I was getting calls from the people on my list that I had that I needed to contact them to
Nice.
call me to say, hey, Leigh, can I take care of this for you?
Wow.
And it's like nudges. I swear I put it on the list, and the universe said, I'll take those. Let me just handle that for you. And
Wow.
it's funny because my coach will tell me, make a list, a to-do list for you and a to-do list for the universe. We call her Athena.
Oh,
But make
nice.
Athena a list and
Yeah.
make you a list. And let Athena handle the stuff on Athena's list. And I should have done that because that's what happened. But it
Wow.
doesn't it amaze you when those things like you need to get something done, you're like, oh, I really need to do this, or write it down, and then they just show up. How can I help?
Yeah.
wanted to touch base.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
It's so amazing, right? Like it's
But
just
if I didn't answer the phone, because truth be told, when I saw she was calling, it was like, shit, I don't have time for this right now.
yeah.
I've got this and this. And something said, if you don't take this call now, you won't call her back for 6 months. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Answer the phone. And in 15 minutes, everything that needed to be done was done. Probably wasn't even that long.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So
And
this saying yes is,
it is, it's the year of yes.
yeah.
It's my year of yes.
Mm-hmm.
Except, oh, go ahead. What
No,
were you
no,
going to
except what?
except with artificial intelligence? I just had this conversation this morning. I don't know where you're at with it, but I just had this conversation this morning where I'm like, I'm so resistant to it. I will never say yes to artificial intelligence. I mean, I never say never, but wow, I am like wildly against it.
So I was on a coaching call last week and my client was talking about it.
Mhm.
And she's like, pull it up on your computer, pull it up, share your screen with me. And she was like, type this in and tell them to retype it,
Yeah.
word it differently. And it was very interesting to me. But what I also have found out this week is that like Google doesn't like it. So if you make an ad that's written that way,
Right.
they don't like it. And I don't know if they won't, like if they'll hide it or, but
Mhm.
they
It won't
want
be. Yeah.
things written by us. So I don't know how true that is.
Yeah,
I need to check.
Google.
You and Google are in the same boat, but it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat because you could say something like, I'm trying to say this, and they would reword it.
Well, I've been watching from afar, and I know that everyone is talking about Chat GPT and about AI. And I mean, for the last probably year, right? I've been getting cold messages. I hate cold messages. Like, I can't stand them. If someone DMs me and says, oh, tries to sell me on their AI with their AI, and their AI system is set up in such a way that it just pisses me off. Like it'll, send me a message. Would you like randomly, would you be interested in this? No, thank you. I'm sorry. What is it about you don't want to make more money? You don't want to do this? You don't want to be automated? No, I said no. No, thank you. And I know I'm talking to a robot. Like, why am I even apologizing here or like saying thank you? I
But
don't
I
know.
don't like human salespeople like that.
I don't like human salespeople like that either. Like, anyway, but so for the last year or so, I've been like really frustrated with this. And then I started reading about universities and how universities are really struggling because the students are using AI to write their essays. And so now they're having to really decide, are we going to have essays in the future, or should we only allow them to use certain AI for their essays? Or should we like what are we going to do here? Should we make it, authored by Sandra Priestley and AI? And I'm thinking, where are we going with this? We already don't teach our kids to write script
Mhm.
because they're saying they are never going to need script because they're just going to be typing their like type an X by your name. So you don't even sign your name. Like, what? How are you going to write a grocery list? I guess on your phone,
That's what Paul
right?
does.
Yeah. But anyway, so I have literally been sitting here and people are saying to me, Sandra, if you're struggling to write your post, just get AI to do it. And I'm so I am like, it's the year of yes, but it's the year of no for AI. Like I can't do it.
You don't
I
even want
am,
to try?
I don't want to try it. I I feel like if I say that I wrote it, I wrote it.
Ah,
Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah,
I don't want to act like I wrote it when I didn't write it. And it's a thing for me. Like, I don't know, because if it's by my name,
yeah.
I want every single word to be from me. And I feel as though, even though it creates it nicely and it wraps it up in a nice little bow and it knows how I talk, I mean, it would be writing a lot of F words, but I still feel like there's something to be said. Like, I want to work with someone when I read their stuff that I know that they wrote it.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I mean, I've like one of my friends, she is 30 years old and she is like, I use Chat GPT all the time. I use AI all the
I
time.
don't know what Chat GPT is.
It's an AI craft your posts and things.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe like I was thinking, is it my age? Like, is it our age? Or is it just me? It might be just a hang up I have. I don't know.
There's something that means, and it might be because it's not yours and it doesn't
Yeah.
feel authentic to you.
It doesn't
Yeah.
feel authentic to me. But it also, I mean, just as a side note, if I'm working with a coach, I don't want that coach's assistant to message me from the coach's account either.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to message my coach or my coach is going to message me, it better be her, and it's going to, like, I want
Yeah.
to talk to her, not the assistant, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it could just totally be my hang up. I don't know. It probably is.
Well,
But
if it doesn't feel good,
don't do it.
don't do it.
Exactly. I will be the only person
You'll
80
be the
years
last
old.
one typing on the.
I'll be the last one typing. I wonder, like, why is I buy a new computer? There's no keys on it. Why? How am I going to do this? Oh,
Uh-huh.
God, my typewriter.
The world has changed. No, but that does make a lot of sense.
It's amazing how the world has changed in our 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's,
Someone pulled out a typewriter a few weeks ago, and I'm looking at it, remembering my
yeah.
first job. I worked, well, I guess the first one was a car lot. I was like a receptionist, but where I really had to type, all I had to type there was addresses. But when I had to start typing letters for this oil company that I worked for, if you hit a wrong key, you pulled it out and put a fresh piece of paper in
I know.
and started from the fucking beginning.
I know.
And I
And then do you
remember,
remember when we got that corrective tape that we had to stick in and like you would go backspace and click the same like
yes.
letter that you had
And
fucked up on?
sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't.
Sometimes it wasn't on. And then remember how technical we thought it was when there was correction tape in right in the typewriter?
Yeah. And then
Oh, wow.
we got a Mac
Oh, yeah.
at the office. So for probably a year, I was typing everything. And then we moved offices, and I guess they got some money because we were working out of his garage apartment
Okay.
in the
Wow.
beginning. And so then there's a Mac, and I didn't know how to use a Mac, but they
Yeah.
taught me. They were so patient with me. It was so sweet. But then I could type and I could screw it all up, and I could just delete what I needed to, and I can move stuff around. And I was like,
So
oh,
wild, right? I
yeah.
know.
And then now we've got shit writing stuff for us. Or
Right.
we have the option.
Right.
Crazy.
And also, when we're speaking, we've got Facebook hearing us and we've got Google hearing us and we've got like,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, someone was saying to me, that seems so wild. Like, really? Why don't you just talk around your phone, talk about goose decoys and see what comes up? I'm telling you, it happened to me. And I
Goose decoys.
Goose decoys. My husband and my son love goose
Oh,
hunting.
I
Right? They go
wonder
on
what
these
a
goose
goose decoy is. Okay, I'm gonna see what comes up later.
Yeah, Zuckerberg will
It's
show you.
freaky.
It is freaky, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Mm-hmm.
And
Because
also, what's freaky is
uh,
that we used to all be scared of it, and now we just go,
well, I think the way it seems to me is that from a marketing standpoint, they're looking for, what are you looking for? How can I make this easier for you? So
Well,
I'm making it much more innocent than it might be. They're just
yeah,
trying to help us shop.
true. But I didn't want to buy goose decoys. I think I was saying, do we really need more of them? And apparently we did.
Now, what
Uh,
are goose decoys?
they're just like plastic. They look like Canada geese.
Oh,
And
and
they're
then you
just
put them in the water?
plastic. You put them like in the field where they come and land and they feed, and you put them all in the field, and you get like hundreds of them. Some of them are up on stands and they flap. And I mean, there's all these different types of goose decoys that
And
you
then they
can,
shoot them.
and then they shoot them. Yes. I know, it's sad.
Have you ever shot an animal?
No.
Could you shoot an animal?
No, I don't think that I could. I have shot targets.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Targets are
I
fun.
like target shooting. I
Oh,
find
yeah.
that, or clay,
Yeah.
clay pigeons. But no, I'm not really that keen on that. No,
You
I
know,
don't like.
it's like I feel so hypocritical because I love a steak. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. I don't eat deer.
Right.
I guess I don't really eat anything that you shoot, but you have to kill cattle to
Yeah.
get the steak. But I could not kill an animal, even though I eat them.
Yeah.
Um, so if something happened and we had to go out and hunt for food, I would be screwed. And Paul is pretty tender-hearted as well.
So
So yeah,
let us it is. You would be.
yeah, yeah. Or we would have to figure it out. Because I do
Yeah.
appreciate my meat, but I just
I
don't
know.
have it in me so far.
Yeah.
So
I like we I don't eat it, but my husband and my son do.
mhm,
I'm We don't eat, like we don't hunt. I mean, I guess it's for their sport, but we also eat it.
yeah.
So it's not, I don't really like, people that would like eat or like hunt and then
Yeah,
not eat it.
you have to eat what you shoot.
Yeah.
I think that's
But
like a rule.
anyway, I
Huh?
think I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah. For most people, I think that's a
Okay.
rule. So,
Yeah.
but we're out of time.
And where did we go with this
I don't know.
podcast? I don't know. All over the place, but it was fun.
Now we got to go target shooting.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay. Thank you, Sandra. I hope you have a fabulous week. I will see you next Thursday. And thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.